And winning in life is no accident. Creating individual success is like having a recipe for a great meal. It only works if you know how to use the ingredients. As a best-selling author, entrepreneur, business coach, strategist, and champion, the Lewis Howard Live Show provides you the insider's view on winning. All we do is win, 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 helping you become the best version of yourself. Hey. Thank you for joining another quick, short Lewis Howard Live. And really appreciate those who have listened to the show over the years. We've got about 600 plus episodes on 15 different platforms, airing and playing in 7 different countries. So we are getting the word out. So I thank each of you that are sharing it, downloading it, sending it to a friend. We appreciate that. Today, I want to talk about the power of the subconscious mind. I've been really studying a lot about purpose, as I did in one of the previous episodes, but been really looking at the power of your thoughts and how to manage thoughts, especially thoughts you don't want to have. And so I really just want to talk about the power of the mind, both the conscious and the subconscious, and how important that is to your daily life. Have you ever been driving and found yourself driving to an old address or driving to a place you used to work? You automatically did it. You didn't consciously say, I'm going to drive to an old place that I lived or a place that I used to work. I do it on the regular sometimes, because when I'm not paying attention, maybe I'm on the phone or I'm listening to music or I'm paying more attention to traffic, I've literally driven back to places. How did that happen to me? It happened to me that because I drove to that place so many times that it became part of my subconscious thinking. So it automatically, my subconscious knew that I wanted to go there. So essentially, there's two parts to the mind. There is the conscious mind, and that is the part of your mind that allows you to make conscious decisions. I want to call them controllable decisions. I'm going to eat. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to work. I'm going to work on this project. I'm going to punch this person in the face. No, not really, but right. These are conscious things that you just do. The subconscious part is a little bit deeper than that. The subconscious is the deeper part of you. It is automatically programmed from the time you hit this planet, from the time you hit Earth, from heaven to earth to the ground. You had a programming in you. And as you grow up in your family, in your culture, in your environment, you get more programming. So that's why some of you have a predisposition to certain things and you have an aversion to other things. It means some things I just know I like, right? I like Southern food. I just know. You know why? Because from 0 to 18 years old, we have Southern food on a regular basis. So I know it. It's a natural part of me. So those parts can be good, but here's where it becomes an issue. If you have the wrong, let's center. We got the mind, the conscious mind, and the subconscious mind. Now let's move over to thoughts, ideas, and imaginations. Whatever thoughts are put into your conscious mind and they're repeated is going to deposit themselves into your subconscious. You're going to find yourself making decisions, making choices based on programming. We all have it. If you're a human being on the planet, you're going to have it. So it is important to understand, if I want to change my programming, right, then it comes out of what I hear. So what do you hear? What kind of music do you hear? What kind of television programs do you hear? What kind of voices do you hear? What do you listen to? What gets your attention? So if you listen to those things uh, over and over, there is a scripture that says that faith cometh by hearing and hearing and hearing and hearing and hearing. So the more I hear something, the more things go into my ear gate, the more probability it's going to impact me consciously. Sadly, on the other side of that, people have pre-programmed biases because they've been taught that. Somebody had to teach you something for you to decide that later on in your life, I won't do that. Many people make decisions and they don't even know why they do it. But this program is about, bringing you up to the next level. So what I really want to focus on is, how do I change that? Right? Maybe I'm making some decisions that I know I shouldn't be making. I've got some addictions. I've got some challenges, and I just can't stop doing. I can't stop smoking. Can't stop overeating. Can't stop drinking. Well, it's two things that's got to happen. Number one, you need some new information. Okay. Number two, you've got to replace that thought habit with a new thought habit, and you've got to do it repeatedly. Now, it is said by psychologists, I am not one, but it is said by psychologists and psychotherapists and people that are smarter than me that if you do something or hear something or say something a half a dozen times, you own it. So the first time you hear something, it's just information. So this is where people get a little dangerous. They have enough information to make them dangerous. So they hear something and then they run off with what they hear. But they haven't really deposited it inside of them. They just heard something and they just repeated what they heard. Okay. That's not really going to change your outcome. You've got to actually deposit it in your subconscious so that it becomes a part of your DNA makeup. That makes sense. So I've got to hear something new. What do I want to hear? I want to hear about, learning how to prosper, learn how to be an entrepreneur, learning how to make money, learn how to have marriage. Many of us didn't grow up with good father figures or parental figures. So you actually got to learn how to have relationships. You got to learn how to that, which means I need new information. The internet, the web is so full of information, but there's a difference between information. When you hear it a few times, it's information. You hear it a lot of times, becomes knowledge. That's why the professors understand. They give you pop quiz. They check how much you're retaining the information when you're in college. What the purpose of that is to see, okay, how they're retaining the information. Okay, if they're retaining it good, let's keep on going on. If they're not, then the professor knows I got to back up, slow down, or revisit what areas they're not retaining as a student. So it's the same thing in life. And this is really to people that you're not in school, you're in life. You're doing life every day. And so you've got to take the time to invest in your mind. If you want new thoughts, you're going to have to invest in that, right? I study and read all the time. I've read thousands of books. I've written 4 of them, but I've read thousands of books. I'm always listening to podcasts. I'm always listening to messages. But here's the difference. Most people do the same thing, but I can tell you that there's some programs that I've listened to 30 times. Same thing, 30 times. I'm kind of hard-headed, so I need to hear it a lot. But if you truly want to change your mental makeup and change some things in your subconscious, then you have to put new thoughts in there that drive out the old thoughts. So let's say, for example, you grew up eating unhealthy, right? French fries, deep fried, and now you've gone to the doctor and the doctor says, hey, Bob, you got to start eating different. Otherwise, you're going to have a cholesterol problem. You may have diabetes. You're going to have something. So now you need a new plan. Okay. How am I going to get this new plan? I've been eating chicken like this my whole life. How do I get a new plan? Okay. Well, first of all, going to have to stop. I got to get some new information. What does a healthy life look like? Okay. And then I need to get images of that. For me, I'm an image driven person. So I want images of what does health look like? Okay. Then I'm going to start saying to myself, I'm a healthy eater. I'm a healthy eater. I'm a healthy eater. Right. So I'm going to keep saying that to myself. Then I'm going to get uh, supporting corroborating material. So, in the world of criminal defense, that if they charge you with something, then what they need is corroborating evidence, right? So if you're going to make a new program, a new plan, you need new tools. You need new evidence to support what you're doing. That could be in the form of people. You might need a nutritionist. You might need a coach, or you might just need to go and spend a lot of time looking at healthy programs on YouTube. Then you're going to have to stay away from some things, right? You got to make the decision that I've got to stay away from unhealthy people, places, and things. If I'm trying to be healthy, I can't be around people eating fried chicken. I'm using fried chicken as an example. Don't send me emails about fried chicken because I like fried chicken. I'm just using it as an example. It could be anything that is contributing to unhealth, right? So you're going to have to get information. Same thing with money, right? I didn't grow up understanding how money works. So I had to learn how to study money. How did I do it? Number one, I got around people that had money. Number two, I bought books about money. I watched programs about money. I read articles about money. I studied. I kept my ears open and my mouth closed until I had a deep understanding about how money works. Now money works for me. I don't work for money. Money works for me. That's another level. But I had to change the way, because why? I grew up in a culture, in an environment where they had more month than they had money. And everybody was living for the next Friday or the next 2 weeks to get the check. And then by the next week, the check is done. That is not the way to live with money. That's not the way to make money work for you. But if you don't know any better, you're going to make the same decision maybe that your dad made, or your grandparents made, or your uncle made, or whoever influenced you about money. You're going to do that. So you've got to stop and study this out for yourself, right? Study out the subconscious is really it's the most good part of you. It's the most dangerous part of you, because many of us are programmed by the time we're probably 7 years old. You're programmed with most of your life habits by the time you're 7. So if you're like me, that you grew up with some habits that you don't need, that could be leading to self-destruction, you got to change those habits. Now, it ain't quick. It doesn't happen overnight. It's going to take some time. It may take some time, depending on what it is and how intrinsic it is in your system. Only you know that. Only you know. If you're been smoking a pack a day and been doing that for a long time, you're not going to quit that overnight. It's just not. Some people can do things what's called cold turkey. They just give it up. But most people need to do it over a period of time. And you just need to replace that habit. You need to get that habit. And man, I'm telling you from personal experience, it is liberating to be able to take control of something that is a habit that has dominated you for weeks, for months, and years. And again, this program applies to every area of your life: physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, legally, spiritually. So every area you deal with, you're going to have to deal with the aspect of your conscious mind, the information center, and your subconscious mind, the programming center for you. So you're going to have to use your information center to get that information down you. And let me tell you this about your mind: it will resist. If you've been eating unhealthy and all of a sudden you start eating unhealthy, they're going to open up a Krispy Kreme donut right across the street from you. I'm telling you, and you're going to be tempted to do it. But you've got to stay with the program long enough to now get those new thoughts, those new ideas, those new imaginations inside. So we're talking about thoughts, ideas, and imaginations that affect both your conscious and your subconscious mind. Love doing this. Love keeping them quick. Hit me up. Let me know. We'll do these on the regular. We're going to start getting back into it and hopefully helping you become the best version of yourself. Thank you again for tuning in. We'll see you again.
Every great champion knows that success, overcoming, and winning in life is no accident. Creating individual success is like having a recipe for a great meal. It only works if you know how to use the ingredients. As a best-selling author, entrepreneur, business coach, strategist, and champion, the Lewis Howard Live Show provides you the insider's view on winning. All we do is win, 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 helping you become the best version of yourself.